Hi everyone, my name is Jannette Shockley. I am a partner with Lazega Johanson and manage our association collections practice. In this video, I am going to talk about fines and how to collect them. Many of my boards are often frustrated with owners that repeatedly violate the covenants. Fines can be your secret to success since they help encourage owners to follow the rules. The tricky part can be collecting them. A good starting place is to review your fining language and create a policy or resolution to explain and identify the amounts of the fines, ramifications for repeat offenders, and the escalation process. Fining procedures are fair when they are clearly outlined and the fines are reasonable in light of the underlying violation. That sounds all well and good. Well, what does reasonable mean? Reasonable often means different things to different people. Because what is reasonable depends on the situation or violation at hand, I usually examine a few factors to help evaluate the fine. One factor is that the courts have previously found that a fine of $25 per day per violation is reasonable. Another factor is the severity of the violation. If the violation is not easily corrected or if it harms people or property, then that violation often merits a larger fine. Vandalizing the pool and damaging pool furniture would be much more serious to me than failing to cut the grass. The owner incurring a much larger fine for the vandalism makes reasonable sense. I also look to see if the violation is one that can and has been repeated. Several of my associations have issues with owners who constantly leave their trash cans out in plain sight. Those associations use escalating fines so that the fines increase as the violations are repeated. A first violation may only receive a fine of $50. The second violation may increase to $100, and a third violation then increases the fine to $150, so on and so forth. Once reasonable fines are validly assessed, the next question is how best to use those fines to encourage homeowner compliance. I usually recommend taking a carrot and stick approach to fines. The primary goal of the fine is not to generate income for the association, but rather to have the owner correct their violation and avoid violating the covenants in the future. If the owner corrects the issue, then many of my boards will waive or reduce the fine as a reward for the homeowner being in compliance. If the owners do not take the carrot approach, then I recommend the associations turn to the stick. The collection powers allow us to take a harder line against violations and pursue collections of the fines, just like we pursue collection of unpaid general assessments. If an owner has corrected the violation but did not pay the fine, I usually proceed by sending a demand letter, filing a lien, and filing suit if necessary. One of my communities had an owner with an inoperable vehicle in the driveway for approximately 60 days. Fines in the amount of $1,550 accrued on the property before the vehicle was finally removed. The community started the owner in collections. Shortly after the owner was served with the lawsuit, he paid a large lump sum settlement to avoid judgment being entered against him. If a violation is ongoing, then my recommendation is often different. For example, an owner in a community decided to paint their home purple. Purple was obviously not an approved paint color by the association, and it was an eyesore. Just collecting the fines was not enough in this instance, as the association could not live with the purple paint. In that situation, I recommended that the association pursue a dual covenant and collection lawsuit. This type of suit allowed them to collect the fines, but also obtain a court order that required the owner to get rid of the purple paint and choose an approved color. This concept will be explored in depth in another video from my firm. Once your association is ready to get down to the fining business, we can draft a resolution to be published to your membership so all owners know where they stand and what repercussions they face if they do not follow the rules.